We've got two more guitars to show you from our factory visit to the Taylor factory last summer. We've been excited to tell you all about these Port Orford gems, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We are here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. And if you want to support the channel, you can visit our spring store link below for custom swag and check out our podcast, The Fretboard Confessional. So if you don't know, now you know. We went to the factory at Taylor, which is kind of becoming an annual trip. It's pretty fun. We got to go out there, shoot a bunch of cool stuff, and while we're there, pick out woods with Andy again. It's our second time doing that, and it's a lot of fun. And this time, there were some key differences. There were tops for us to sort through, in addition to some really beautiful back and side wood. And we have created some really great guitars that are just now finding their way home to us and eventually home to you. So today, we have a pair of twins of the Port Orford Cedar variety that we are excited to tell you about.
These are unique, and I've been really interested in hearing what they sound like after the education that we got at the factory. These are maple back and sides, Heartwood Maple back and sides.
Color. Color.
Look at those.
Color without stain. There's no stain on these. That's just el natural.
Look at those bad boys.
Isn't that beautiful?
And then the tops, when we were there, first of all, light.
Very.
Really light guitars. We got kind of, like I said, an education on Port Orford Cedar, which there were 2 sets, I believe, and we took both of them. And I would like Chris to give some of that knowledge.
Illuminate the luminous wood. So I was familiar somewhat with Port Orford Cedar being used to build guitars. Really, the only company I'd seen use it prior to that was Breedlove. They had a few select models that would sometimes have it, and it was usually paired with maple or with myrtle wood, which are very similar sounding woods. But I thought it was like a normal cedar. And what Andy explained to us is that the response of Port Orford Cedar is really more like a spruce, and there's a certain vibrance and brightness and volume you can get out of it that you wouldn't see out of a normal set of cedar, which is much, much softer. And so it really was like picking a really cool spruce to pair with maple. But the other parts of it that were interesting was it's very floral smelling. Before it's built and after the guitar is made, it's kind of very floral scent. And it's very luminous. And the reason for that was very nerdy, which is, Andy told us that it naturally draws platinum minerals out of the ground, and it winds up in the wood, and it gives us this certain luminance, which is pretty dang cool.
Very cool. He definitely made a point to make us smell it.
Yes, he did.
A lot. He was like, yo, you got to smell this. And now I was really excited because that still smells like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's very floral.
Really nice smell. And also the aesthetic package that we've put around these, I think, really highlights the beauty of both woods. So the Heartwood Maple and the Port Orford, creamy and colorful at the same time. But tell us about what we got going on.
Well, so it works really, really well. When we knew we wanted to do something with these back and sides, and it was going to be a good pairing with Port Orford. And the coloration of Port Orford, it has this kind of pinkish, yellowish, whitish quality to it that paired really, really well with the coloration in this Heartwood Maple. Maple can be very blonde, very white, looking, but when it is particularly very flamed like this stuff is, the contrast kind of comes out looking very blonde. And then you have the coloration of this Heartwood Maple that really accentuates that. And so from the get-go, it was just like, this is going to look beautiful, and these tone woods pair really, really well together. And I think it was Andy's suggestion of framing it with rosewood. And so we did. We did these beautiful grand auditoriums, rosewood bound, with the armrest for comfort. Keep your arm off the top of the guitar as well, so it sounds even better. And, apart from, I'll let you say it.
That's a single ab ring with bound sound.
Get you where you need to go every time. In addition to the abalone rosette there, we wanted to do maple appointments. And this is one of your favorite inlays.
The vine, dude.
The vine.
Yeah.
Do it for the vine.
Do it for the vine. That's what I'm talking about.
So we have this vine inlay in maple with this is actually part of the bouquet inlay, also done in maple.
Pretty.
That really goes well with the vine. So rosewood appointments, rosewood and maple, really with this Port Orford and maple combination, and you've got your back strap, your go-to 510 tuners. It's a beautiful custom guitar that is like there's an elegance to it.
Yeah, there's a certain subset of guitars that we have gotten that's pretty rare, but there was weirdly one prototype, Taylor Academy,
Mm-hmm.
that had kind of a flame maple, layered back and sides that I love the look of.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a Martin that we got in that was a different kind of wood, but still that light top, sides, and back that I just think, and that one had some rosewood kind of appointments around it. It's a starkly beautiful look. And we didn't even really mention figured maple neck.
Figured maple neck.
So you keep the whole thing going.
The other thing, from a color and time standpoint that I really like about this combination, maple's going to continue to be kind of pretty light white blonde color, and you often see it dyed for a few reasons. One, I think because it takes it really well.
Mm-hmm.
When you have some kind of finish on it, you can really accentuate some of the figuring. But two, when you have just kind of a pale maple and you pair it with a Sitka spruce, over time that Sitka darkens into like this brownish color, and it creates this contrast that's kind of odd. I've got that old DDSM that's kind of like that, and I'm fine with it, but I do get when some people are like, does that really match anymore? And this wood's not going to do that. And along with this being kind of heartwood and having coloration, it's going to have this cool vibe that sticks with it the entire life of the guitar.
Yeah. Came out gorgeous, and luckily they sound very nice. So take a listen.
All right, so there you have it. Beautiful guitars. I'm ecstatic with the way they turned out. And these are very special guitars. They're from that particular trip. These are the only two.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about limited, it doesn't get much more limited than that. So if you want information about these, you can find it on our website at
alamomusic.com.
And you can see all the photos. You can buy the guitars there. If you have any questions, you can just click on the little box where Cooper's face is.
Mhm.
And I'm going to change it every once in a while. I'm just going to put a different version of your face on there.
I will say, pro tip, if you're looking at the website looking for these guitars, we got 2 identical spec. They're both unique and they're both under different listings. So one of these is custom 12901, the other one is 12902. It won't show quantity 2 on
Right.
the same listing, so we will link both of them
Because
below.
they're different.
They're different, but they're the same. So we'll link it below. If you have any questions, ask us. They are both equally beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one that's better than the other, but the whole point of what we did at the old factory is we've had some really nice one-off guitars, and it's sad to see when somebody buys one and then somebody calls in 5 minutes later and says, hey, do you have that guitar? Sometimes it's no. In this case, if somebody buys one of these and the next person that calls, you can also have one.
What were the SKUs again?
I know that custom, I don't think they're on the serials. The custom quote number was 12901 and 12902, and that will be on the listing. So
This
different
one
than the
ends in
serials.
5104.
This one ends in 5103.
So there you go.
Get siblings for yourself. Consecutive serial numbers and custom quote numbers.
No, you don't. You know, it'd be even cooler. One person from one side of the country buy this, and one person from the other side of the country buy this. And let's do a recap video 20 years from now, and see how different or the same they sound, just to prove a theory that I have. So that'd be very cool.
Yeah.
We have more coming in from that visit. So you've seen some of the guitars. There's still a lot of really cool stuff coming. So if these are not your cup of tea, but you're like, I want something really cool and special, you can also find some information about those on the website or reach out to us through the chat and just say, hey, Chris Cooper, what else do you have coming? Do you have the specifications? Do you have the pictures? The answer is yes, we do. And we can get that stuff to you. Along with, we got a bunch of cool tailors coming. Catch tailors are on their way. Some really cool stuff. I'm being coy. Anyways, so that's it in a nutshell. If you have information or questions, let us know. And let us know in the comments what you thought about these guitars. I like the sound. I think they're very cool. Very, this tonality is very player reflective. And you can move around, with your picking hand and really get a lot of response on these guitars.
Totally.
So pretty cool. If you're new to our channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, and we'll see you next time.